This is a multi-track recording that I've done featuring the Ui24R as the audio interface. So I'm using Cubase essentially just as a means to record and play back. And you're going to be able to download these individual files, set them up in your own program of choice, and then run them back out through the Ui24R mixer. So I'm going to show you how I've routed it and just give you a few ideas, a few things to play around with. So the basic layout here is 8 tracks of drums, bass guitar, a few other guitars, got an acoustic, got a guitar solo, of course. And I've got a couple of dry signals or dry versions of 2 of the guitar tracks, which we're going to run back through the Digitech processors on the Ui24R. It's a fairly straightforward track, but there's plenty enough to play around with to get to know the mixer a little better. So the layout that I've got here basically is a mirror of what I've got in Cubase. So I've got drums from channels 5 through to 12, and then I've got the bass and other guitars going after that. I've left the first and second channels so that if I want to, I can run the dry guitar and bass back through and run them through the Digitech processors just to play around with some different sounds. So for example, guitar 1 would usually be this. Lovely. The dry version of that is what it sounds like when you plug your guitar straight into a mixer, which is quite dreadful. So over here in the Ui24R mixer, see that that's coming up on the first channel. And the reason for that is so that I can run it through the Digitech processor. So let's check that out. I go up to the top, go into the edit screen, and over here is our Digitech processor. So I'm going to kick that on. Straight away, it sounds like a usable guitar. Alright, so we've got a bunch of presets over here. It speaks for itself as far as the parameters go, but it's very, very active or sensitive, shall I say. So little changes within the EQ make a big difference with this little processor. So there's actually a lot you can play around with just sort of subtle changes. Quick look through a few other presets. That's nice. So without the processor, now the other thing, of course, is if you want to get in and start to use all of the other high-end effects, EQ, compressor, etc., you can really start to mold that sound exactly as you want. Get rid of some nasties, huh? So that's a much nicer sound already.